What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with Neal deGrasse Tyson explains big numbers. Before we jump into these big numbers, I need you guys to jump into that subscribe button, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. If you guys have a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon, drop it in the comment section, or in the description section, there's your premium request link. This is a premium request from Anonymous. What we got?
Chuck.
Hey, Neal.
We got another explainer video to do.
I do enjoy the explainers.
You like them? That's very nice.
I do, because I learn things.
Okay,
you know?
That's good. Today's topic.
What is it? Yes.
Big numbers.
Okay.
All right, let's work our way there. Okay, 'cause
Right.
I don't think people appreciate how big astronomically large numbers are. Okay, of course,
I think I'm gonna learn something in this video too, because I don't think I've appreciated how big astronomical numbers are either. So I'm gonna learn a lot.
Astronomical as an adjective is reserved for big things and big uncountable quantities. Okay?
Right.
There's a reason for that, and I want to elucidate this for you. First, we have to introduce exponential notation.
Okay.
Okay? So that's
Lord.
the number 10 raised to a power.
Right.
Right? So 10 to the third power is 10 times 10 times 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So 10 to the third power is 1,000. 10 to the fourth power is 10,000. 10 to the fifth power is 100,000. 10 to the sixth power, it's a 1 with 6 zeros, that's a million.
Million.
Okay? Are we together?
We're good.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
These are all the dream numbers of my bank account.
I feel that for
So
sure.
I have no problem relating to this.
All right, so the number 1,000 is pretty familiar to us all. The populations of most cities is numbered in the thousands, 10,000, 100,000, 500,000, this sort of thing. Let's go up by another factor of 1,000. So 1,000 times 1,000, now we're at 10 to the sixth power, that's a million.
Right.
The largest cities in the world are measured in millions. Okay, I'm native of New York City. We're 8.5 million or something, such as that today. Let's go up by another factor of 1,000. So we go from 1,000 times 1,000 gets to a million.
Right.
Times another 1,000, we add another 3 zeros. We get to what?
A billion.
A
So
billion.
1,000 million. We have 1,000 million, and that gives us a billion.
That gives you a billion. That's correct. And so that's Carl Sagan's favorite number. Okay, let's say billions. Billions. That's his favorite number.
If I could just get billions of views or billions of subscribers, which is nobody's ever got a billion subscribers. People have gotten billions of views. I need billions of views. That would be amazing. That would be awesome. Incredible. Sensational. But this is interesting. I feel like I'm in math class. I feel like I'm in high school all over again. But it got my attention right now.
It shows up a lot in astronomy. Okay,
Right.
there are between 2 and 400 billion stars in our galaxy.
God,
there might be
dang.
as many as 100 billion galaxies in the universe. So that billion shows up a lot.
That's a lot of freaking stars.
Well, let's try to further understand this. Okay, so how much money does Jeff Bezos have?
Billions.
What's his worth?
I think he's worth 80-something billion.
So let's round that to
That's
100 billion. Okay,
insanity.
so now.
That is, bro, that just literally took my mind and absolutely blew. 80, how do you become worth $80 billion? What do you do with $80 billion? How do you, my brain can't even fathom it. It legit, it's short-circuiting right now. If you gave me 80 million today, I could live comfortably the rest of my life. I'm not saying extravagantly the rest of my life. I could live comfortably. And I could be extravagant in some things, but I'd be good. Even if you took half of that for taxes, take 40 million off the top for taxes, good off the other 40 mil. 80 billion? I guess I can't make 80 billion because my brain can't fathom 80 billion.
Here we go. Suppose I had 100 billion $1 bills.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
I would be your friend for life.
Me too.
So what can I do with $100 billion bills? Well, I can take them and put them end to end, and I can go around the earth 200 times.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's a lot.
200 times. Wait. But I have some leftover money. Okay?
You still have money left over?
Yes, okay.
Damn.
Okay,
That's
so now
crazy.
I'm going to put them vertically and see how high they go. Well, with what's left over after you went around the world 200 times, you can go vertically to the moon and back 10 times.
Wait a minute. That's in addition to going around 2 times.
No, 200 times.
Wait, you are going around the earth 200 times.
Yes.
Yes.
And then with the money left over,
Left over.
Left over.
Now you stack them
now you could
vertically
go
up to the
to
moon
the
and
moon
back 10 times.
and back.
Wow.
10 times.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Yo, that's insane.
Correct.
So my mattress money got me to the moon and back. That's the leftover cash.
Other
swear
things.
to
McDonald's
God.
used to keep track of how many hamburgers they sold. Do you remember
Right.
this?
Yes.
If old timers
Over
remember.
1 billion
Billion,
served.
up to 12 billion, 30 billion, 50. Then they just gave up, and you know what they say now? Billions and billions.
Billions.
Number became too big. They said we can't count this forever. We can't count it because it's too much. It's too much. So let's just go to billions and billions. It's going to hit a trillion at some point, but we gonna go billions and billions.
And billions.
Okay, so let's go up by another factor of 1,000. From a billion, which is 9 zeros, to now we go to 12 zeros.
So trillion.
So billion, we have by. What would come after by?
Try.
But try.
Try.
So trillion.
Trillion. So 10 to the 12th power is a trillion. Okay? About 1 trillion seconds have passed since cave dwellers painted on cave walls. Okay, here's why that's significant. Because you can actually count to 1 billion in your lifetime. And I
Yeah.
celebrated my 1,000,000th second. I don't know if you did, but I celebrated my 1,000,000th. I don't know where you were.
Yeah, I don't know where I was either. I'll tell you this much. I missed it like that.
So you live your 1,000,000th second between your 31st year and your 32nd year of life. So I counted that out, and I had a real fast little sip of champagne, and that was my 1,000,000th second. So if you counted one number per second for every second you're alive, and don't sleep, and you can do it in 31 years.
Oh my!
So how long will it take to
God.
count to 1 trillion?
Yeah, 30. That's 1,000 times 31,000 years. I assume. I could be completely wrong. This is what I am assuming. My math could be off. I graduated from high school 2013, almost 10 years ago. At least, actually 10 years ago. I finished math. I took my college math courses in high school, so I didn't have to take math in college. So high school was the last time I've ever done math. This is what I'm thinking, 31,000 years, but 31 years to count to 1 billion is insane. Now I am learning. This is teaching me how astronomically big numbers work, like how we can't really even understand them, it seems,
In 31 years.
because I never thought about them like this.
So how long will it take to count to 1 trillion?
Let's see. You need another 1,000.
It's
on top of that.
1,000 times that.
Not right. You need another 1,000 on top of that. So you got 1,000 times. So you're not gonna make it.
So you need 1,000 times 31 years to get there.
Okay.
How long is that? 31,000 years.
So my math was
Yeah,
on.
there you
It
go.
was on.
So if you want to give a kid a task because they're your kids, say, "Oh, sit
I'm
in the corner, count to 1 trillion." And
Count
then-
to 1 trillion. There you go. And better yet, just make it 1 billion and see them and keep them going for 30 years.
Keep 'em going.
I'm so bored. Count
All
to
right.
1 billion.
So let's go up another factor of 1,000. So we go from
Okay.
billion, trillion. That's 12 zeros. So what would be the next number if you're keeping in this
Quadrillion?
quadrillion? And
I didn't even know that was the number. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't know quadrillion was a number, bro. At trillions, my brain can't fathom anything outside of trillions. Outside of trillions, it just automatically goes to infinity because it can't just keep counting. Like, so trillions, infinity.
And that has 9, 12, 15 zeros. That's
This
a one.
is inconceivable.
I'm getting there. We haven't. You don't know inconceivable yet. So 15 zeros. That's 1,000 times bigger than a trillion.
Okay.
Okay. A quadrillion, about 100 quadrillion. I calculated this. Is the estimated number of sounds and words ever uttered by all humans who have ever lived.
That's
Say that
crazy.
again, because that was a weird thing you just said.
That's
A
crazy.
quadrillion.
About 100 quadrillion.
About 100 quadrillion.
Is about the estimated number of sounds and words ever uttered by all humans who have ever lived.
That doesn't include flatulence, though.
And I had to have a separate term for congressional filibusters. They're in there too. So you want to get a sense of the scale of these numbers. I'm just putting it in context here in a cosmic perspective. Let's go up by another factor of 1,000. So we now have a number 1,000 times bigger than all the words ever uttered. So
Quintillion, is that it? That's what I'm thinking. But how do you even get these statistics? How do you get these statistics? Figure out that 100 quadrillion is about the number of sounds and words uttered in human history with throughout all humans. Like, where do you get that from?
So we went from trillion, billion,
quadrillion.
trillion, quadrillion, quintillion.
Quintillion.
So that's a 1 with 18 zeros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
That's about the
Speechless.
number of grains of sand on an average beach.
Oh, just one beach. Wow.
Just one beach.
Dang.
Just one. Well, just next time you go to a beach, just pick up a
Yeah.
handful of sand and just look at it.
Yeah.
And then the sand is deep and it goes into the water a bit and it comes out and it's wide. So you do the volumes. You figure that out. That's how you get a quintillion grains of sand on an average beach.
That's crazy.
Okay, but we're not done. I'm not done with you, Chuck. Okay.
Listen.
Can you handle the truth? Can you
I don't
handle
even
it?
know.
I can't handle it. My brain's fried at trillion. It fried back at trillion. Anything, it's fried now. I'm not fathoming anymore. It's not understanding anymore. It's gone.
I can't. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's just, go ahead. Okay.
And keep in mind, we left Jeff Bezos long ago in this.
Yeah.
Right.
What we're doing here.
I'm telling you, like, this guy's broke as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't even stop to rob him on the street. You know what I mean? It's like, Dad.
Let's go now 1,000 times bigger than a quintillion. Okay, so quintillion was 10 to the 18th power, 1 with 18 zeros. Now we're talking about 1 with 21 zeros. Okay,
What's that
has a
called?
name. Next up, sextillion.
Sextillion.
1 with 21 zeros. That is the estimated number of stars in the universe.
A
That
sextillion.
many?
Yes.
Say yes.
Oh
So that's
God.
1,000 times larger than the number of grains of sand on a beach. Which is itself 1,000 times larger than all the sounds and words ever uttered. Actually, it's about 10 times larger than the sounds and words ever uttered by all humans who have ever lived. You can take that all the way down. So these are factors larger, not just additive increments,
That's
but factors.
crazy.
But let's keep going. I'm not done with you. 10 to the 23rd power.
Oh
You
my
met
God,
that
bro.
number in your chemistry class in high school.
What you mean?
6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power. That's a mole in chemistry. Okay, and a mole is how many particles of a substance occupy a specified mass of that substance.
See, this chemistry. Finished science in high school. Never had to take science again. Science was always my worst subject. Absolutely. When you start mixing the words and numbers and letters and velocity and all of this in my brain, it was too much, bro. My brain can't take all of this. A mole? I didn't even remember what a mole was. 5 minutes after this video, not gonna remember what a mole is. This is crazy. This is insanity. This is unfathomable. Like, I don't know what to say.
Okay,
Gotcha.
a mole.
A mole.
Okay, and so there are vessels that contain moles of things, 10 to the 23rd molecules. So here you go. You ready? Do you realize there are more molecules of water in a glass of water than there are glasses of water in all the world's oceans?
Are you
There are
serious?
more molecules of water in a glass of water than there are glasses of water in the entire volume of water in the world.
Correct. Okay.
That's
You know what? I'm going to
crazy.
drink to that.
Okay, so wait. Not only that, there are more molecules of air in a single breath of air than there are breaths of air in all the world's
That's
atmosphere.
crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, so what this means,
That's wild.
that's not just a fun fact. What this means is when I drink a glass of water, and then it comes out of me 7 different ways, okay? I can sweat it, I can
Sweat,
spit it,
urine,
pee,
well,
all
right.
of this. It goes back into the environment.
Okay, this
There-
has gotten really disgusting.
There are enough molecules that I have just expelled to repopulate all the world's water supply with some of the molecules that were in the glass that I just drank.
So here's what we've
What
learned,
on
people.
earth?
When you drink a glass of water, you're drinking Neal deGrasse Tyson spit.
No, given enough time, it has to remix into the world.
course,
So that
yes.
takes time. So if you can get a character from long enough ago, whoever your hero is it Socrates? Is it Joan of Arc? Is it Jesus? Just go far enough back in time.
At
and
some point, there's a
can
little bit of them in you.
Correct. You in the glass of water you drink, there is water molecules that pass through the kidneys of Jesus. There are air molecules that were breathed by Genghis Khan. And so
This
in
is
that way, we are
crazy.
deeply connected in the fluids we consume and in the air we breathe.
That is so cool. That is one of
Bro, you can learn so much just through numbers, bro. Like, I feel like I'm really being educated right now. Like, I feel like, why would Neal deGrasse Tyson my teacher, bro? Like, because this is all fascinating and unfathomable to me.
the coolest facts we have ever divulged on
Yes.
this show.
And you can
Now-
get that with 10 to the 23 molecules scattered back into the atmosphere or into the waters of the world.
It's all about a mole. Now, how do we take that and find out how we recycle Jeff Bezos' money into my bank account?
Okay, Chuck, I'll get to work on that equation
Yes,
immediately.
please do.
So, working up from the mole, we get to 10 to the 81st power. If you multiply all the stars and times all the molecules and particles they're made of, you get 10 to the 81 power, which is the sum of all particles that comprise the observable universe.
That's crazy.
Now you can ask,
insane.
why would anyone need a number bigger than this?
I was going to say, there's nothing else beyond that.
Beyond that to count. Yes.
Right.
There
What
isn't.
is there to count beyond that?
Okay, but that doesn't stop mathematicians. So there's a number,
Wow.
a 1 with 100 zeros.
You're
Nice
lying.
round. There would be 10 to the 100th power. That's called a Google. The company
Google.
took that word, messed up the spelling of it, and they became the first time most people even ever heard the pronunciation of such a thing.
Facts.
Google.
Nice.
1 with 100 zeros. That is 10
A Google. 10 to the 100th power is called a Google. Wow.
to the 19th power, larger than the number of particles in the entire universe.
That's insanity.
Oh
That's
my God.
that's
That's
right.
insanity.
So what's the use of that? Well, we'll get there. Okay. How about a number that dwarfs the Google? Well, how would you write out a Google? You put a 1
No way. No way.
and the 100 zeros, right? That's what
Okay.
That's too
10
much.
to the 100th power means. There's a number that dwarfs the Google. That's
What?
10 to the Google power.
And is that called a Yahoo?
No. 10 to the Google power is a 1 with a Google zeros, and that's called the Googleplex.
A Google
Oh,
Play.
sweet.
the Googleplex. Now, here's the problem with the Googleplex. How many zeros does it have if you were to write it out?
More zeros than, let's see.
10 to the 100 power. So 100 zeros. But if you Google 1,000 zeros? 1,000 zeros?
More zeros than it would take your child to write out after you sent them to the corner
For a
to
timeout?
count to 1 billion.
So if 10 to the 100th is a Google, and it's a 1 with 100 zeros, then 10 to the Google power is a 1 with how many zeros?
1,000.
Oh, I have no idea.
It has a Google zeros. If what's in the exponent is how many zeros you have,
Right.
10 to the 21 had 21 zeros. 10 to the 81 had 81 zeros. 10 to the 100th, Google has 100 zeros. 10 to the Google is a 1 with a Google zeros. That's a Googleplex. Here's my point. If a Googleplex has a Google zeros in it,
Right.
there are not enough particles in the universe upon which you would write the zeros just to express that number.
Are you serious?
So there's not room for a Googleplex
To be written out in full form
in
in the universe. That's
crazy.
If you put a zero on every particle in the universe,
you don't have, you run out of room to write the Googleplex.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Absolute
It's completely
insanity.
It's the Googleplex. It's a big number.
That's wild.
Wait a minute. So we went through all this to say it's a big number.
It's a big number. I'm just saying. That's what the session is about, Jay. Big numbers. Did you get the rhythm
There
in this
we
yet?
go, full circle, and we're full circle. Big
Okay.
numbers.
All right. So now, why do you have big numbers at all? Because you're no longer counting things. You're counting in one way. In one use of them, you're counting.
How do we come up with all these numbers that nobody can even count to? That's not even. My brain, it's going to take a minute to put my brain back together after this video. It's just going to take a minute.
Events. So, for example, there is a number that dwarfs the Googleplex.
Oh my God.
It's called Skew's number.
You're kidding me.
It's 10 to the 10th to the 10th to the 34th power. It's called Skew's number.
Okay.
Now that number dwarfs the Googleplex, and you can only write it this way with these sort of exponents up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because there's not enough room in the universe to write it any other way.
Exactly. Okay. That's about the total number of combinations of how you would orient the matter in the universe.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
for example, if I take a molecule within you and swap it with a molecule in me, that's a configuration of the universe. I take something from Alpha Centauri and swap it with Omega Ceti 5, which is a fictional place from Star Trek. Swap those atoms, that's another config. Swap 10 atoms here and there, that's another configuration. It's the number of combinations of particle configurations in the universe.
All right, that is pretty cool.
Right. Again, you're not counting things, you're counting events.
Bro.
It's like asking how many possible chess games are there.
Right.
Right? Chess only has, 32 pieces in it and 64 squares.
Right.
All right. So there you have it, Chuck. I just wanted to give you a sense of what big numbers are. And whatever is the big number you thought the big number was, there are bigger numbers than that.
There's bigger numbers than that.
That's crazy.
Right.
Well,
And for me,
what I have taken away from this is Jeff Bezos isn't as rich as I thought he was.
he's a broke.
He's broke ass Bezos.
So, Chuck, there you have it. The cosmic perspective of big numbers.
Sweet. Yes.
All right. This has been another explainer video from Star Talk, and I'm Neal deGrasse Tyson, bidding you to keep looking up.
Yeah, that in my brain, he started fumbling and jumbling and scrambling and rambling. And that was a very fascinating video, though. Very interesting. That's all we got. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon, drop it in the comment section, or in the description section, there's your premium request link. It's your boy D Neal, out.